Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. With Nintendo Switch 2 releasing this week, it made me think about what we've really gotten out of the ninth generation of consoles. PlayStation 6 and, whatever dumb name they come up with for the new Xbox are on the horizon, while the Switch 2 is all but released. Or, actually, by the time this video comes out, it probably will be released. But it feels like this generation never really got its foot under it. There isn't one reason that the current generation feels lackluster, but instead it's a perfect storm of bad luck and bad decision making. I'm sure people don't want to think about the pandemic, but I can't really talk about the ninth generation without discussing it. Between supply chain shortages and workflows being disrupted, many games were forced to delay their release. There are very few AAA titles that were able to stick to an initial release date. Not to mention, when the Xbox Series consoles and PS5 released, average consumers had to deal with a new and very unfortunate adversary: scalpers. Scalpers have been a thing for ever, but during the ninth generation's release, it felt like they were really responsible for creating a stressful and unpleasant buying experience for your average Joe. Take this tweet from December 2020, which broke down the average price of a PS5 and Xbox Series X and S sold through eBay in the months after release. The PS5 scalpers sold consoles for a median price of $1,021 for the version with a disk drive and $937 for one without. To remind you, the disk drive version cost $499 at launch, while the diskless version was $399. This resulted in $19 million in profits for the scalpers. As for the Series X, the retail price was $599 and was sold for $865 on eBay. And the Series S was $299 but sold for an average price of $469. I love my Series S. I think it's a great console, but it's not worth nearly $500. All told, by December, scalpers had profited $10 million from Xbox consoles and $29 million for both PlayStation and Xbox consoles combined. The inability to secure a PlayStation or Xbox at launch caused many gamers to stick with their current consoles. There's nothing wrong with the previous generation, and the leap between the 8th and ninth generation wasn't so insane that it kept games released during the early part of that cycle from being completely exclusive to the ninth generation. Personally, as I wasn't able to secure a new console immediately, I was able to get over my FOMO and wait until 2023 to get a PlayStation 5. Now it's my daily driver, but I really don't feel like I missed that much during those 3 years. The biggest new game during that time in terms of cultural relevance was probably Elden Ring from FromSoft, which was the type of game that you open up your friends list in the days after it was released and literally everyone was playing it. However, it wasn't exclusive to the ninth generation. The Xbox One and PS4 versions launched alongside the newer consoles. The ninth generation version does look a little bit better, but not enough to warrant buying an entirely new console. The fact that the 8th generation is so powerful has allowed gamers to save money and stay with that platform longer than they would have in previous generations. I don't want this to make it seem like the PS5 hasn't been successful in its own right. It certainly has, but 11 years after the launch of the PS4, there's still 49 million active users on that platform, a number in line with the amount of active users on the PS5 at the same time. With such a strong user base on the previous generation, it makes sense that the companies have been hesitant to abandon it altogether. Black Ops 6 launched on the 8th and ninth generation, as did Madden 25. I expect that to stop soon as features are starting to be removed from the previous versions. Like in the new Madden, they didn't even add the new kickoff rules to the 8th generation version. But if you're not someone who cares about having the shiniest and newest version of a game, why would you spend your money to upgrade? The lack of exclusives, while great for consumers, has done a lot to make the break between the generations blurry, if not non existent. We're only just getting to the point where major titles are going to be exclusive to the ninth generation, and the 10th generation is nearly here. I mean, it is here for Nintendo, but for Sony and Microsoft, it's right around the corner. I'll be very interested to see the sales numbers for the Switch 2 after the initial surge of fanatics and scalpers. Will it offer enough to the average person to want to upgrade from the Switch 1? Then, when the PS6 and, I don't know, the Xbox 2 Gamma version or whatever come out, will consumers want to upgrade? If they're anything like me, they probably feel like they just bought a ninth generation console, So why would they be super eager to upgrade to something else so soon? Personally, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the first title that I played where I felt like it was fulfilling the promise of a new generation. The map was huge, the loading screens were extremely limited, and the world just felt alive in a way that I hadn't previously experienced. There'll be more games like KCD2 this generation. If GTA 6 looks as good on the PS5 as it claims it will, how much better will it look on the PS6? The jump between generations is shrinking. Will the prices continue to rise? When asked the question, how much better can games feel and look? And do we even want it to look like real life? Do we want to be playing Call of Duty and watch the life drain out of an opponent's eyes like we're watching a live leak video? It's a thin line between awe-inspiring and uncanny. Plus, if the most annoying people on Twitter are to be believed, all of our jobs are about to be replaced by AI, including YouTubers. Seriously, have you seen the new AI YouTuber videos? They look, unfortunately, very believable. It was obviously trained on YouTubers like Mr. Beast, but that's what the people want, not videos musing about why console generations don't feel complete. So, how are we going to be able to afford new consoles if we don't even have a job? Will we be forced to watch AI YouTubers play PS6 while we're left behind? I don't really have the answers to that, but with the release of the Switch 2, it just made me, I don't know, introspective about this generation. I imagine when the Sony and Microsoft consoles come out, a lot of people will feel, it's kind of an unnecessary upgrade at the time. The sales will probably be slow, and then what happens? We all just become PC gamers? Honestly, maybe. Microsoft seems to want that to happen anyways. So, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you feel like the ninth generation has felt complete, or do you also feel like it's left a lot to be desired? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you did. We have video essays coming out every single week. And then we also have our other channels, Those Fake Nerds, which is nerd and pop culture news, Wicked Sports, which is sports news, and Better Radio, which has all of our podcasts on it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.